Artificial intelligence updates we do every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Today, Friday, November 7th. And the phrases of the day: jobs that used to cost 200,000 now can be done for 20,000, and time frames went down from 6 months to 6 weeks. And as you see, a lot of updates. First is our leaderboard for text chats on the left and for coding on the right. So for coding, you see that Claude absolutely dominates. We also have Qwen 3 Max preview. It's not free, and it's available on Alibaba Qwen chat. And then again, we have Claude Haiku. And then we have GLM 4.6, which is open source from China, and Long and Flash also from China, and so on. GPT-5 high, you see it's pretty low, but high means it thinks a lot. And then other GPT models, which are yellow, are way below. And I'm showing this because many people still just use OpenAI, but OpenAI is not the best for coding. Definitely use Claude, maybe Gemini 2.5 Pro. It's some people like that. Now for text, it's a different story. You see, for regular chat, OpenAI has its place up here. Okay, next, Abacus AI DeepAgent. So I was talking about Abacus many times. It's a startup. They create very good systems. This is only $10 a month, right? And it can work with you. You see, it can do browser operations. You see, for example, opens LinkedIn, searches based on your criteria, gather contacts, draft personalized. Because it works on your computer, it can use your accounts to do stuff. Usually it's very difficult to do anything, to automate anything with LinkedIn, but using Abacus AI DeepAgent, you can do things like that. Invoice management, website testing, and so on. This is amazing tool. Next, OpenAI makes a deal with AWS for $38 billion. So AWS providing infrastructure for OpenAI models. And again, that shows that OpenAI goes from under Microsoft and uses other data centers, other providers, other vendors. And what AWS provides is data centers with Nvidia GPUs. Now, AWS Trainium versus Nvidia. AWS created their own GPUs, which are called Trainium, Trainium 2 actually, and they build the whole data centers running them, for example, for Anthropic Claude. And these are huge data centers, and they are comparable, and that's why Claude is actually now running on AWS. Not only on AWS, they are also now making a deal with Google. I'll be talking about it later, which will actually pick their cap of Anthropic up to $350 billion, which is huge and very fast progress. Their previous capitalization was 180, I think, billion dollars. So, okay, anyway, next. China sells a room temperature quantum computer called Hanyang 1, and this is how it looks. And yeah, and it works at room temperature. They're already receiving orders for millions of dollars. It uses lasers to manipulate neutral atoms at qubits. I didn't check what it is, probably cesium. It has 100 qubits, and they can exist in 0 or 1 quantum superposition. The entire system fits in 3 standard equipment racks. Okay, energy shortages limit AI growth. And this is coming from Microsoft CEO. So he is explaining the current situation that energy becomes a bottleneck. Next, very good interview of these two YouTubers. Nathaniel Whittemore interviews Wang. Yeah, there are some phrases which I really like. Code AGI will be achieved in 20% of the time of the full AGI. So what he's saying is the AGI for coding will be achieved much faster. Coding is a verifiable domain with fast feedback loops where developers are both builders and consumers, creating a virtuous cycle. And yeah, and we already see that, like Claude becomes very, very good. Yeah, this is a shameless plug for my channel. We have more than 5,000 subscribers, hundreds of videos. This is the channel. Just search for Lev Selector and subscribe. I always provide links to slides, so you can download slides and click on the links there. And yeah, I always ask a question and really, really appreciate when you answer from your experience. Thinking about thinking. So this is actually an Anthropic paper titled Emergent Introspective Awareness in Large Language Models. And the idea is if a model can actually figure out if it is being influenced. And you can use the term meta-thinking when you're thinking about this, thinking about thinking. And so the question is, can AI do philosophy? So it's an interesting question. And the answer is no, it's not a philosopher. Because to do the philosophy, the system should have, well, some personal experience, some understanding of itself. Uh, well, AI can tell you about history of philosophy. It can like write a book about philosophy and different currents and philosophy as a science, but it's not a philosopher itself. So it's, well, interesting topic to think about. Next, I really like Gurav Sen. If you don't know him, he is a very good software architect. He has a channel on YouTube. He is a very good teacher, really, really good. And he now switched to talking about AI. And this particular video, he talks about diffusion models, comparing them to regular autoregressive models. And he believes that diffusion models will become more common. Yeah, it's a very, very good video. And I really recommend to subscribe to him, Gurav Sen. Next, Microsoft Agent Lightning Platform, open source reinforcement learning framework that enables AI agents to learn from their own experience. So this is new, to learn from their own experience without requiring code rewrites. The system operates through Lightning Server here, handling training behind the scenes, and Lightning Client that collects performance data and so on. Okay, next, YouTube super resolution upscaling. So now when you upload a video on YouTube, which is low resolution, what YouTube will do, it will automatically upscale it for you for a better user experience, because a lot of people now use YouTube on big screens, on like home TVs, and if it's low quality, it's not pleasant to watch. So YouTube just upscales it for you. Well, you can tell it not to upscale if you don't want to. And they also allowed to use bigger thumbnails. Okay. Human End or Humans End. So it's a new startup, and this is very exciting. So founded by Eric Zelikman, and he's coming from XAI, and he's getting $1 billion right up front. And the idea is you they're making a system for collaborating with humans. So it's not autonomous agent. It's an agent whose whole purpose is to work with human and to make the human more effective. You see, training, prioritize collaboration over automation, usability and ethical considerations over speed and cost. So it's very interesting. And just for fresh without anything, no product, nothing, getting $1 billion to start. This is amazing. OpenAI safety models. There are GPT-OSS Safeguard models, 120 billion parameters and 20 billion parameters. They are open weight, and safety security is a very important area, of course. Next, Microsoft signs $9.7 billion deal with IREN, which is a cloud provider, and they provide service with Nvidia advanced chips. So this is a 5-year partnership allowing Microsoft to boost capacity. Qwen 3 Max thinking. So Qwen 3 Max is a paid, not free model, and now they released a thinking variant of it. It has a trillion parameters, mixture of experts, of course, 256,000 context window. It's available on Qwen Chat in the Alibaba Cloud API. And similar model, very similar, is also from China, is Kimi K2 thinking. Again, thinking here, thinking here. The difference, though, is that Kimi is open model. It's open weight on Hugging Face, so you can download it. Also 256K window, also mixture of expert, also trillion parameters. Well, Qwen is more like mathematics, logic, whereas Kimi is more for multi-step agentic workflows. In fact, it can go through like 200, 300 of tool calls sequentially using multiple agents. So this is for scaling multi-agent systems. It beats GPT-5 and Claude 4.5 Sonnet, and it's open weight. Well, it's big, trillion parameters, but it's open. Okay, Microsoft 15 billion investment in United Arab Emirates. So this is very interesting. Microsoft received approval from Trump administration to build infrastructure in UAE, right? And to use Nvidia latest GPUs there. So they received permission for exporting those Nvidia GPUs. They also will train people and students and specialists. So Microsoft will use Abu Dhabi, as a hub for AI research and development. And yeah, Apple Siri will be powered by Google. So Apple considered OpenAI, they considered other models and decided to go with Google. So they are now on stages of finalizing this agreement. And Google will provide a custom model, 1.2 trillion parameter Gemini model to power Siri. And next, GitHub MCP Registry. I was showing multiple websites like search engines to find MCP servers, but now GitHub kind of makes a central one. It's open. You can search for different MCP servers. So developers self-publish MCP servers on the OSS MCP community, and then it automatically goes here. So here's the links, github.com/MCP and so on. And the benefit also that it integrates with Visual Studio Code. So it's a one-click installation of MCP servers into your Visual Studio Code. Next, Edison Scientific and Kosmos AI. And this is for scientific work. So Cosmos, it is a non-profit. It's a futurehouse.org. And Edison Scientific is a commercial branch of the same thing. So it coordinates cycles of literature review, data analysis, hypothesis generation, processing huge number of papers, executing lines of code, whatever. So this is a support system for scientists. It has a free option and a paid version. Okay, next. File search tool in Gemini API. If you will get access to it, well, you need to upload those files into their cloud, but it's basically fully managed RAG system, and it's built into Gemini API. Next, Google Axion CPUs and Ironwood TPUs. So like Nvidia, it's famous for their GPUs, but they also have CPUs. Same now with Google, right? They have a hardware which does the same thing, and they provide those servers. They call them instances. So Google Cloud has introduced new AI-oriented instances powered by its own Axion CPUs and Ironwood TPUs, aimed for both training and low latency inference. Okay, Claude Skills Cookbook. If you are not using Claude Skills, you need to learn how to do it. And now on GitHub, you have a cookbook, which is very, very useful. Okay, OpenAI interrupt feature. So when you ask OpenAI a question which requires deep research, it may take a long time. And in the middle of this research, you want to interrupt it and maybe provide more information or correct it. So now you can do it. Now you can interrupt long-running queries mid-process and add new context. Next, keyword plus semantic search instead of RAG. When people have, well, I was just helping a friend, and she had a task where she had million of job postings, and she need to make some sort of matching system, like search system, exploring of this. So the immediate, like, what I have in my brain is, oh, you can just build a RAG system, right? Or maybe you can combine keyword search with semantic vector-based vector similarity search, right? But then actually you don't need LLM. The standard error reg, you do the search, you find good candidates, you re-rank them, you select several top one, and then you ask LLM to formulate the response. But in this particular case, you don't need to formulate a response. You just need it to work as Google and just give you like the top 10 matches, for example, right? And you can do it without any LLM whatsoever, and you can do it, for example, in PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL database originally was born as object database, not an SQL database. They support objects. That's why it can support vectors, right, and do vector search. And so you can do BM25 keyword search, and you can use vector search. So here there are extensions for PostgreSQL for BM25 and PG Vector for vector search. And here is the example. You create a table for your documents. So you have title of each document, you have content of each document, and you have a vector. Let's say this is a short posting, so one vector is enough. Well, if not, you can make several rows or several columns, whatever. So you have a table, then you create index on documents, on the table documents, using BM25 or using hierarchical small world for vector search. And then after you created those indexes, now you can do queries, and you can do two queries, one using index for BM25 and another is for vectors, and then you can combine them, merge them together, and select the top one, which is called reciprocal rank fusion. And note, you can do all of this as one query. You don't need LLM. Like, well, this is great, very elegant. Next, Reflection.AI. I remember talking about them long time ago, and then there was not many publications about them. But this is a startup in San Francisco, and they just getting $2 billion at $8 billion valuation. So they grew up. So these are co-founders, Misha Laskin, Yanis Antonoglu. And what they create open source alternative to AI labs. For example, they launched Asimov, so it's a code comprehension agent, right? And look at the results here. This was in July when they released it. So here, the green one is Asimov, and this is the best competitor. So for example, they're comparing it with Claude Code Sonnet 3.7 or Claude Code Sonnet 4, Well, it was in July where 4.5 was not available, but you see that Asimov from Reflection, it beats like hands down the competition. They're planning to release their model and their system next year. Yeah, so this is very exciting. I'm looking forward to see like what they will create, and that it will be open source, which is huge. Next, OpenMemory VS Code extension. Okay, this is a very exciting project. It's on GitHub, MIT license, very permissive. So modular AI memory engine provides persistent, structured, and semantic memory for LLM applications. Enables AI agents, assistants, copilots to remember user data, preferences, and prior interactions. Extension automatically integrates with the GitHub Copilot, Cursor, Claude, Windsurf Codex, and any MCP compatible AI. Install the extension, start the OpenMemory server, and your AI tools instantly access. So how it works, you can see you run the server and it will be available on local host and some port which you can modify. And yeah, and your AI assistant, your coding assistant can communicate with this server. So this server serves as a memory. So OpenMemory was created by this project, Caviar open source software. And when you'll be searching, like I was searching and I was really confused because there are other OpenMemory projects. Like for example, there is an OpenMemory Chrome extension and OpenMemory MCP created by a different team. And yeah, these are different projects. Next, Google AI for Science, Supervised Reinforcement Learning, SRL, novel training framework that teaches small models to reason through complex problems, breaks expert solutions into stepwise trajectories where models generate hidden reasoning think tags before producing each action and receive immediate dense rewards based on string similarity comparisons. Okay, so testing on Qwen 2.57 billion, so it's a small model, shown dramatic improvements. Google Gemini-powered multi-agent system functions as collaborative research tools that generates hypotheses, design experiments, and analyzes complex data sets. Okay, this system uses specialized agents for generation agent for brainstorming ideas, reflection agents act as peer reviewers, ranking agents use ELA tournaments to select top hypotheses, evolution agents merge promising concepts, and meta review agents continuously improve the system. So this is some examples. Next, a Google project Suncatcher. Well, this is the future. It didn't happen yet, but the idea is that you can actually think hypothetically about putting data center in space. So let's say you put it on low Earth orbit 400 miles above Earth's surface, and you can put solar panels, and they can be 8 times more productive there than on the surface of the Earth because there is no atmosphere there. And as the price of shooting satellites on the orbit gets lower and lower, they project that at around 2035, so in about 10 years from now, it may be economically feasible to do that, to have, I don't know, 80, 100 satellites working together, exchanging information with laser beams and getting solar power. Yeah, so Google actually is working on this project. Next, why Sam Altman was fired in 2023, like 2 years ago. He was actually fired and then returned a week later. And apparently, Ilya Zutskever's deposition, he revealed the facts. So he prepared a 52-page memo back then to the board talking about Sam Altman. And yeah, so what he wrote there, he accused Sam as a consistent pattern of lying, undermining his executives, pitting executives against each other, and so on. And then the board rushed to fire Sam Altman. Then he was returned. The whole story. It's just that Ilya was never talking about these issues, and this is the first time when it like went into open. Okay, next, Elon Musk received approved $1 trillion compensation package. It's actually all in stock options and only if Tesla will achieve specific targets. And the targets, the first target is like 2 trillion market cap, and then eventually it should go to 8.5 trillion. Well, right now the largest company is Nvidia. It's 5 trillion, right? And yeah, current valuation of Tesla is 1.5 trillion. So we'll see. But yeah, it is exciting. He was talking yesterday was an annual meeting, and he was talking about the robots and how big this become, and they're putting manufacturing plants to produce millions of those robots. Okay, next. IT projects cost now 10 times lower. So this is a very interesting article on Medium, which I recommend to read. But what it explains is that certain projects, and he gives examples, which would cost like 200,000, now can be done for only 20,000. And before it was like 6 months of work, now it is 6 weeks. The size of the team goes down. And so what's happening, big companies are still trying to receive 200,000, but they're losing the market because now there are smaller companies which are much more flexible and fast and can do it for a lower rate. So the bigger companies losing the contracts, so they're firing people. These people turn around, create their own companies, and the whole area becomes much more entrepreneurial. Now, where savings are coming from? Well, apparently from development efficiency, because AI coding, but also, which I didn't expect, requirements gathering and documentation, the whole logistic around the process. So large development companies haven't reduced prices despite lower cost. Okay, so recommendations for hiring. If you want to hire somebody, ask if developers use AI coding tools, request prototypes, and start with time-boxed projects. Yeah, he believes that 99% of projects should start under 50,000 to maintain momentum and avoid feature creep. Yeah, this is like a practical advice for consulting. Okay, next, FDE, hottest new job in AI. So what is FDE? Forward Deployed Engineer. It's a software engineer which company like OpenAI, for example, or Google sends to their client, so it will work on site with the client to develop AI projects. So OpenAI established FDE team this year, and they already 50 engineers. Anthropic and Cohere are also doing the same thing. The term forward deployed originates from military, like airborne troops, and was popularized by Palantir, which sends embedded engineers into client environments to co-create solutions. Well, they were doing this before AI projects, and they are doing a lot of it now. So the role is being dubbed as the hottest job in tech by venture capital Andreessen Horowitz. FDEs command top salaries to the high impact nature. Many FDEs become trusted advisors. FDE is the hottest new job in AI. Job listings for FDE have surged over 800% this year. And a year ago, the hottest AI job was prompt engineer. Now, prompt engineer is not even a job title, it's just a skill that everybody must have. Okay, these are the jobs. November just started, not too many layoffs. This is me as usual, and thank you.